In a dusty, windswept frontier town named Willow Creek, life moved at a slow pace, punctuated only by the clanging of metal and the laughter from the saloon. The blacksmith's forge was the heart of this small community, where men and women gathered for news and gossip while waiting for tools to be mended. The air smelled of hot iron and sweat, with sparks dancing like fireflies in the dim light. But beneath the surface of this quaint town lay secrets and tensions. The saloonkeeper, a charming but reckless man named Rufus, had gained a reputation for his quick temper and his luck at cards. Just last week, a heated argument had erupted in his establishment over a game gone wrong, leading to chaos and a man's untimely fall. Now, Rufus was on the run, desperate to escape the law that was closing in on him. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the street, whispers filled the air about the fugitive hiding somewhere in town. Little did anyone know that Rufus had found refuge in an unlikely place, a secret nook under the blacksmith's forge. The stage was set for a clash between loyalty and justice, with lives hanging in the balance. The blacksmith's forge stood proudly at the edge of Willow Creek, its sturdy structure made of weathered wood and stone. Puffs of smoke curled from the chimney, a sign of the hard work happening inside. The rhythmic clang of hammer against anvil echoed throughout the town, drawing people in like a magnet. It was more than just a workshop, it was a gathering place for townsfolk who felt at home amidst the heat and sparks of creation. Sam, the blacksmith, was known for his exceptional skills. His hands, calloused and strong, shaped metal with precision, whether it was crafting horseshoes, repairing tools, or creating intricate ironwork for homes. Everyone in town relied on Sam for something, and he never turned anyone away, always ready to lend a helping hand. His warm smile and hearty laugh put folks at ease, making the forge feel like a safe haven. As Rufus's troubles brewed, many were unaware that deep within this sanctuary lay a hidden secret. While Sam worked tirelessly, the tension outside built with each passing moment. The forge became more than just a place of labor, it was now a silent witness to the perilous game of hide-and-seek unfolding between loyalty to a friend and the looming threat of the law. Rufus, the saloonkeeper, was a familiar face in Willow Creek, known for his easy charm and boisterous laughter that could fill his lively establishment. But recently, his luck had run out. During a high-stakes card game, a heated argument erupted between Rufus and another player, escalating into a violent confrontation. In the chaos, a man fell gravely injured, and Rufus quickly became a target of the law. Fleeing from the scene, he could feel the weight of panic pressing on him as he navigated the dimly lit back alleys of town. With nightfall approaching, the urgency to find shelter intensified. Rufus knew he had to stay hidden until things cooled down. Fortunately, this wasn't his first time evading trouble, he had a network of friends who would help him, if they dared to. As he made his way down a narrow path toward the blacksmith's forge, he hoped that Sam would understand his plight and offer refuge. Little did he know that beneath the blacksmith's anvil and fire, there awaited the possibility of both salvation and danger. As whispers about his whereabouts spread like wildfire among the townsfolk, the clock was ticking for Rufus and everyone associated with him. As Rufus crouched in the darkened nook beneath the forge, Sam stood above him, grappling with a storm of conflicting emotions. A loyal friend to Rufus, he remembered countless nights spent at the saloon, sharing laughter and stories over drinks. But now, that same laughter hung heavy in the air, tainted by the urgency of the situation. With the law pursuing his friend, Sam felt a chill creep into his heart. The blacksmith glanced toward the entrance of his forge, anxiety coursing through him. He knew the Marshal and his posse were already searching for Rufus, likely asking questions just outside. Sam had always upheld a strong sense of justice, it was part of what made him respected in town. Yet loyalty tugged at him fiercely, Rufus had been there for him during rough times, always ready to lend a hand or share a meal. Could he betray that friendship? The fear of facing repercussions from both the law and his community weighed heavily on his conscience. In this moment, Sam had to decide, would he protect Rufus from certain arrest, risking everything he had built in Willow Creek, or uphold the law and risk losing a cherished friend forever? The clock ticked on as uncertainty loomed large. Just as the tension in the forge thickened, the heavy footsteps of the marshal echoed outside, signaling his arrival. Accompanied by a group of determined townsfolk, he strode purposefully toward the entrance, his face set with grim determination. The townspeople, curious and anxious, gathered behind him, their faces betraying a mix of concern and excitement. Sam's heart raced as he prepared to confront what was unfolding. The marshal's voice boomed as he addressed Sam. "We know Rufus is somewhere nearby. He's injured a man, and we need to bring him in." Each word dripped with authority, making it clear that the law would not be easily dismissed. Sam swallowed hard, trying to maintain his composure, knowing that every second counted. As the marshal continued questioning him, Sam's mind raced with thoughts of Rufus hidden below. He could almost feel the weight of his friend's fate resting on his shoulders. Would he lie to protect Rufus or risk everything by telling the truth? The eyes of his neighbors were upon him, and he couldn't shake the feeling that they were waiting for his next move. With courage wavering within him, Sam prepared to answer the marshal's probing questions, torn between friendship and duty. As Sam stood before the marshal, his heart racing, he couldn't shake the thought of Rufus hiding just below him. A plan began to form in his mind. The forge was filled with tools and equipment that could serve as clever distractions and hiding spots. With a quick glance to ensure no one was watching, Sam moved to a corner where he had built a hidden compartment beneath the wooden floorboards, a place where he had previously stored precious metals and supplies. He knelt down, carefully lifting the loose boards to reveal a narrow space. "Rufus," he whispered urgently, knowing time was of the essence. "I need you to squeeze in here. It's tight, but it's our best chance." Rufus quickly complied, his eyes wide with anxiety as he crawled into the compartment, clutching his breath. Sam covered him with tools and materials, creating a convincing layer of clutter that would hide any signs of life beneath. With Rufus concealed, Sam turned his attention back to the marshal and the townsfolk outside. He straightened up and took a deep breath, steeling himself for the questions ahead. The cleverness of his decision gave him hope. If he could buy enough time, perhaps they could both escape this predicament unscathed. As Sam prepared to answer the marshal's questions, the tension in the forge thickened. The marshal, suspicious and relentless, began inspecting the exits. His eyes narrowed as he surveyed the sturdy wooden doors and the small windows that allowed light to filter into the workspace. It was clear he was searching for any sign that Rufus might be hiding nearby. "Let's seal off this place," the marshal barked, signaling his posse to start barricading the exits. Sam's heart raced, he could feel a tight knot forming in his stomach as he watched them hammer wooden planks over the doors. Each thud echoed like a countdown, heightening the sense of urgency. The townsfolk murmured among themselves, their curiosity mixing with unease as they sensed something was amiss. "Make sure there's no way out," the marshal ordered, his voice filled with determination. As they worked, Sam felt trapped, not just by the physical barriers but by the weight of his choices. He stole a glance at the hidden compartment beneath him, knowing that Rufus's fate hung precariously in the balance. With each nail driven into place, the chances of escape dwindled, and Sam's resolve to protect his friend was tested more than ever. As the hammering on the forge walls continued, the marshal turned to his posse with an unsettling glint in his eye. "It's time to bring this to an end. If Rufus refuses to surrender, we'll force him out." He reached into his saddlebag and revealed a bundle of dynamite sticks, the sight sending a chill down Sam's spine. "Set it near the back of the forge," the marshal instructed, his voice unyielding. The townsfolk exchanged worried glances. They knew that blowing up the forge would not only trap Rufus but could also destroy the very heart of their community, along with Sam's livelihood. The air thickened with tension as Sam imagined what would happen if they lit the fuse. "Once we detonate it, he'll have nowhere to go," the marshal added, relishing the thought of capturing Rufus once and for all. Panic surged within Sam as he processed the plan. Would he let this madness unfold? In that moment, he realized that time was slipping away faster than he could handle. Desperate, he wondered if there was still a way to protect Rufus and save himself from being complicit in their destructive scheme. As Sam stood in the forge, his heart raced with mounting dread. The Marshal's plan to use dynamite gnawed at his mind, creating an unsettling ache in his chest. He glanced down at the hidden compartment, picturing Rufus crouching in the darkness, unaware of how close danger was. What if the blast went wrong? What if it killed his friend or destroyed everything he had worked for? The weight of responsibility pressed heavily on Sam's shoulders. If he disclosed Rufus's location, he would betray a friend who had brought joy and laughter into his life. Yet, by keeping silent, he risked not only Rufus's life but also the safety of everyone in town. The forge was more than just a place of work, it was his home and the heart of Willow Creek. With each passing moment, the tension intensified. The townsfolk outside were restless, their murmurs growing louder as they sensed something amiss. Sam felt a chill run down his spine as he considered the consequences of the Marshal's actions. Would he be able to protect Rufus without losing everything, including his own safety? As fear gripped him, Sam resolved he had to find a way to avert disaster before it was too late. The atmosphere in the forge grew electric as the Marshal approached the carefully stacked dynamite, each stick a symbol of impending disaster. The townsfolk, drawn by the commotion, gathered outside, eyes wide with a mix of fear and anticipation. Sam could hear their murmurs, their collective anxiety hanging heavy in the air. Would Rufus be captured? Would the forge be destroyed? With a steady hand, the Marshal prepared to light the fuse. Sam's heart pounded in his chest as he watched, feeling a cold sweat break out on his forehead. The flickering flame of the match danced in the dim light of the forge, casting shadows that seemed to move with a life of their own. Time slowed as he imagined the explosion, wood splintering, metal flying, and everything he held dear reduced to ruin. Wait! Sam's voice cut through the tension like a knife. The Marshal paused, turning his gaze toward him with an expression of irritation mixed with curiosity. Sam's mind raced, he needed to buy more time. With desperation flooding his thoughts, he realized that somehow, he had to reach his friend beneath the floor before it was too late. Would he be able to save Rufus and himself from this impending catastrophe? Wait! Sam shouted, rushing forward as the Marshal eyed him with annoyance. His pulse raced as he faced a choice that would change everything. Could he betray Rufus, exposing his hiding place to save the forge, or would he risk it all for a friend who had once been there for him in times of need? The thoughts spun wildly in his mind, memories of laughter shared over drinks at the saloon, moments of friendship that felt too precious to throw away. Sam glimpsed the townsfolk's anxious faces outside, their uncertainty mirroring his own turmoil. Rufus is innocent. You can't do this, he urged, hoping to sway the Marshal's resolve. But deep down, Sam knew the stakes were higher than just loyalty, lives were on the line. What if he revealed Rufus and the townsfolk turned against him? Would he become a pariah in his own community? With the fuse waiting to be lit, time was running out. Please, Sam pleaded, emotion cracking his voice. Give me a moment to talk to him. Just 1 minute. In that desperate plea lay the weight of his decision, the hope that he could protect Rufus without losing everything that mattered. The tension hung thick in the air as he awaited the Marshal's response, knowing it could mean life or death for them both. Just give me a moment. Sam pleaded again, his voice trembling with urgency. After a tense pause, the Marshal finally relented, if only for a few seconds. Sam rushed to the hidden compartment, heart racing as he whispered urgently to Rufus to prepare for anything. Their fates hung in the balance. As he returned to face the Marshal, Sam made a surprising choice. Rufus isn't just a fugitive, he declared boldly. He's a man who deserves a chance. Let's settle this without violence. The townsfolk watched in stunned silence, weighing the blacksmith's words against their loyalty to the law. In that moment of sacrifice, Sam risked everything, his reputation, his forge, and possibly even his life. The Marshal hesitated, clearly torn between duty and reason. After a heavy silence, he motioned for his men to lower their weapons. Ultimately, Rufus was given a chance to explain himself and accept responsibility for his actions. The community faced a difficult decision about forgiveness versus justice, but Sam's bold stand had shifted their perspective. In the end, friendship and sacrifice triumphed over fear and anger, reminding everyone that choices made under pressure could lead to unexpected paths toward redemption and hope.